Welcome to another Fun Factory gaming video. No Rest for the Wicked is an impressive display of ambition from an indie developer. After achieving global acclaim with the two Ori games, they decided not to pursue a third Metroidvania and instead expanded their scope with the action RPG. Moon Studios decided to create a blend of mechanics that make it a hybrid between genres, which in itself is demanding to achieve satisfactorily, but what's even more impressive is when you discover elements that introduce innovation. At this current stage, which is already capable of making many games envious, No Rest for the Wicked reveals a strong ingenuity in how it interprets and expands the Souls formula, being much more than a mix of Diablo and Dark Souls with a touch of resource crafting. There are numerous attempts to branch out a formula already known, some of which are gaining a lot of attention, but overall I was surprised by the proposal. No Rest for the Wicked has been available for about 2 weeks and has already received several patches to address player feedback. Initially, criticisms focused on performance and equipment requirements, but as the days passed, players began to accumulate more hours to reach a level of knowledge about the game that allowed them to comment on mechanics, balance, and design. Whatever the opinions on the gameplay itself, few dared to criticize Moon Studios' artistic quality in this third project. Like the two Ori games, No Rest for the Wicked is visually stunning, which greatly helps to achieve that Ori Soul sensation. It's a game with beautiful forests and a city that seems to come straight out of the most beautiful fairy tale. Even though most locations are created to convey a sense of unease or even hostility, you never stop feeling like you're playing some kind of wonderful fable. With the help of lighting and good HDR, No Rest for the Wicked becomes an absolutely phenomenal game in terms of graphics. The isometric perspective was used to reinforce the effect of an interactive storybook, which greatly helps to feel the desire to explore and triumph over enemies that attack you mercilessly. Moon Studios presents No Rest for the Wicked as an action RPG, but it should be associated with SoulsLite genre. Even without losing XP and with enemies disappearing for good when you eliminate them, it's still a game in which you'll die frequently and have to treat each encounter as a duel in which you can easily fall. You have a stamina circle that represents the mechanics of Dark Souls games, which forces you to manage the pace of attacks to dodge in time. Additionally, parrying a blow with the shield at the right moment stuns the opponent and allows for a counterattack. The combat is simple to learn but very deep and challenging in the right measure. Even at this early stage, it's one of the best things about No Rest for the Wicked and where it hits the mark. You'll need to pay attention to the movements and habits of each type of enemy, proceed cautiously, and control the urge to hammer buttons to avoid running out of breath. Moon Studios has successfully recreated that timed ballet effect with mathematical rigor for Masochore games, where you're constantly mentally managing the weight of your actions on the risk versus reward scale. Especially because there are various mechanics like collecting items to craft food or potions for healing and equipment that are important parts of the gameplay cycle, expanding the range of genres from which Moon drew mechanics. It's evident that Moon Studios didn't just want to look at the Souls genre and make their game. They wanted more than that. They wanted to associate ideas with it to put their name among those who in some way influenced the meaning of a Souls-like experience. Mechanics like searching for resources to craft healing items or managing equipment may represent the kind of depth that generates friction in the overall experience for many, but there are others that effectively promise to inspire other developers. When you start to master the combat system, something achieved through effort and confrontation after confrontation, as befits a good challenge, you'll finally have a higher level of confidence to face a boss. This will help progress the narrative, but it will also reveal one of the most intriguing elements of No Rest for the Wicked's design, the expansion of previously traversed areas. The boss fights themselves are intense and some of the best moments of the game currently, but when you receive the bounties and challenges that encourage you to explore already visited locations, you'll notice that there is now much more new space to visit. This greatly contributed to my sense of wonder, of constant discovery, of not wanting to put down the controller, of always pursuing something new, of constantly feeling like it's a box of surprises that appear where you least expect them. It makes playing the game very rewarding because instead of discarding previous areas or reducing them to mere stages for fetch quests, it expands them with new locations full of the beauty that generates so much fascination through the visual element. Together with the graphics, I must also praise the soundtrack, simple but interesting, the story, and of course the combat. It's these mechanics that helped No Rest for the Wicked win me over. With this game, Moon Studios does more than just transport the Dark Souls formula to a Diablo perspective with a visual design reminiscent of Ori and a hint of Zelda Breath of the Wild in cooking meals and crafting equipment. At times, you may feel that Moon Studios was so passionate about the legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild that they imagined it as an Ori Souls, which on one hand means an experience full of layers to discover, but on the other hand, it could overwhelm you with the number of mechanics you have to learn and manage. I don't mean to say that it was a bad decision to create a game with multiple layers and mechanics, but a Souls game in which you have to cook food to recover HP or craft healing potions with resources collected in the environments, with equipment that wears out when you die and forces you to pay the blacksmith to repair it because your stats worsen, and the realm system that allows you to restart the game without losing character progress, are many things to learn, and that may make some players feel that they don't know half of the game's potential. After a few hours, collecting plants and items to craft food or potions becomes automatic, part of the gameplay cycle naturally, but the war system on top of the entire Souls experience itself could be a tough trio to swallow for many. The mechanics are implemented in interesting ways, but this avalanche of systems may make many hesitant to play or convey a different feeling than they expected when they decided to take a chance on the game. No Rest for the Wicked is still evolving, and there are many things to discover, but I confess that I only discovered many things because I spent time reading messages from communities on Reddit and Steam forums, where I learned how the realm system works. When you start the game, you create your character and a realm, the game world. If you feel that you're not able to defeat enemies to level up, you can leave that realm and create a new one, starting from scratch with everything you've already obtained, from weapons to items and XP. This allows you to breeze through the initial areas easily and earn more XP to level up, even if it's slowly. When you're satisfied with the progress in that realm, you can go back to the game menu and choose the original realm to try to defeat the obstacle that was bothering you. It's a clever system and a different interpretation of gameplay cycles, since enemies disappear when you defeat them and don't come back, only when you reach one of those progress thresholds that expand previous areas. It's different from the usual XP farming in RPGs and a concept that could challenge the less attentive, a sample of how this game demands time and attention. No Rest for the Wicked is available in early access, but despite the gameplay lasting approximately 30 hours, depending on your skill, it's easy to see how many players are spending more than twice that time in this strange and fascinating world. It's an intriguing journey to follow the evolution of these ideas from Moon Studios, who work on content and refinement with your feedback. However, if you believe in the pedigree that brought you the two Ori games' absolutely memorable experiences in terms of gameplay ingenuity and stunning artistic vein, you already have in No Rest for the Wicked a title worthy of your enthusiasm. It's still in early access, but even in its current phase, it's a title full of spectacular little details, with a very interesting and appealing vision.
It's too late for any of us.
Hope you enjoyed my video. Please consider subscribing to be informed about all my future gaming news. Thank you for your support.